Scuffmaster is a complete line of decorative and durable paint finishes for commercial interiors. Pretty, tough paint. Each finish is distinctive in appearance and easy to apply. And green. Every Scuffmaster product contributes toward LEED credits. In this video, we will cover the equipment settings and application techniques you need to properly apply the pattern coat finishes using the Scuffmaster Solo Air Cap. In the Scuffmaster line, there are 3 paint finish systems that have a pattern coat: Armor, Ambient Metallic, and Ambient Design. All 3 finishes have 2 components, the base coat and the pattern coat. Of course, you should always begin with a freshly primed surface using either Scuffmaster Primer Sealer or Scuffmaster Bonding Primer. For proper usage and application of the primers, refer to the tech documents at scuffmaster.com. Okay, back to the finish systems. In each shipment, you will receive the 2 paint components: the base coat, which is like regular paint, but much better, and the pattern coat, which sits on top of the base coat as raised dots. For Armor, the base coat is Premium Coat 200, and the pattern coat is Armor Coat 1200. Ambient Design uses Master Coat 100 for the base coat and Premium Coat 200 for the pattern coat. Ambient Metallic is Master Coat 100 for the base coat, and for the pattern coat, Armor Coat 1200M. Don't worry if you don't receive the same number of containers of base coat and pattern coat. The pattern coats have different coverage rates than the base coats. Please refer to the finish data sheets for coverage rates. And keep the coverage rates in mind when you're applying the finishes to make sure you get proper coverage, especially for the pattern coats. Each gallon of Scuffmaster paint comes with 2 ounces of Masterlink. These are pre-measured for 1 gallon and 5-gallon paint containers. Masterlink is a catalyst that gives Scuffmaster its incredible durability. It's to be added just prior to application. Do not add the Masterlink before you are ready to begin painting. Once the Masterlink has been added, the paint has a pot life of only 8 hours. Only mix the paint that you will use that day. If you plan on storing paint for later touch-ups, remember, leave some uncatalyzed. For this video, we will be applying Ambient Design. Ambient Metallic and Armor are applied using the same techniques. The base coat can be applied like typical paint: brush, roll, or spray. Make sure the Masterlink is thoroughly mixed into the base coat. Your base coat needs to have the quality of a finished paint project. Any flashing or uneven coverage will telegraph through to the final finish. Once the base coat is dry to the touch, you can apply the pattern coat. Remember, the pattern coat must be applied within 48 hours of base coat application, otherwise the system won't perform up to the standard. After boxing the pattern coat, add the Masterlink and thoroughly mix into the pattern coat. Remember, only mix up enough paint to be used that day. Once the Masterlink is mixed in, the paint is ready. There is no induction or cook time. The pattern coat must be sprayed and requires either a conventional setup or a hybrid system. Pattern coat finishes cannot be sprayed airless. We're using a conventional setup with a Binks 2001 gun and a 66 SS fluid nozzle and 565 needle. For a hybrid system, we recommend the Binks Mach 1 HVLP gun attached to a pressure pot and compressor. Whichever system you choose, you will need the Solo Air Cap. One should have been ordered along with your paint. If you didn't get a Solo Air Cap or you need another one, please contact us. The Solo Air Cap is only available from Scuffmaster. Note, the Solo Air Cap is gun specific. You cannot use the Mach 1 cap on the 2001 gun, and vice versa. Use a dual-regulated 2-gallon pressure pot connected to a quality compressor that will output steady pressure. Seal the pressure pot, and you're set. As a rule, you should keep the pressure pot at foot level. If it is higher or lower, you will need to adjust your pressure to compensate. When it comes to applying the pattern coat, what matters most is getting the proper paint stream. Because a number of factors can influence the final stream, we've found it's best to set pressures this way. With the Solo Air Cap removed, set both regulators to 0. Slowly increase fluid pressure until you achieve a 3/4 to 1 inch stream of paint before arching. Next, attach the solo air cap and dial up the air pressure. From 3 to 4 feet away, use scrap material as a test surface until you match the pattern size on the sample included in your order. Do not atomize the pattern coat. You can fine-tune the pattern spray. For a smaller pattern, increase air pressure or decrease fluid pressure. For a larger pattern, increase fluid pressure or decrease air pressure. Once you have a pattern match, it's go time. Before spraying the pattern, you must purge the gun pressure. If you don't, a pressure surge could ruin the finish. Aim at a protected surface or into a bucket and pull the trigger. Do not release the trigger. Keep the trigger held in full and move to the wall. Do not feather the trigger, keep it held in full. If you must release the trigger, repeat the gun purge before you return to the wall. There are 4 things to consider when applying the pattern coat: distance, range, pattern, speed. Distance from the wall. On a standard height wall, best results will be achieved if you keep the gun tip 3 to 4 feet from the wall. Range of motion. The gun should be kept in the sweet spot between 1 foot above your shoulder and 1 foot below your shoulder. This will prevent line drops or a surge of pressure that will change the pattern size. Pattern of spray stroke. Work the gun up and down in a narrow oval pattern that runs from floor to ceiling. Avoid using a tight circular motion. Speed across the wall. As you work down the wall, maintain an even speed. You want the pattern to fill in the specified density in just 2 passes. Rather than watching the paint hit the wall, make sure you maintain consistent distance, range, pattern, and speed, and you will have a more even finish. Ready?
Okay, let's do it.
So, you think you did everything right, but you still ended up with some inconsistencies. Striping can be caused by inconsistent speed, incorrect distance from the wall, or poor technique. Subtle striping can be fixed by correcting your technique and applying 1 or 2 light passes over the whole wall. If the striping is obvious, this can only be repaired by starting over and reapplying the base coat and pattern coat. You want to avoid striping. A cloudy finish is most obvious from an angle. This can happen if you're too close to the wall, if the spray stroke is too slow, or the wrong pressure settings were used. Subtle cloudiness can be fixed by correcting your technique and applying 1 or 2 light passes over the whole wall. Substantial cloudiness, however, can only be repaired by starting over with the base coat, then the pattern coat. You want to avoid a cloudy finish. Incorrect pattern size is the result of using the wrong pressure settings. A too small pattern can be fixed by setting the correct pressures and using 1 or 2 light passes until the wall matches the sample. A pattern that is too large is more difficult to fix and usually means starting over with the base coat, then the pattern coat. You want to avoid creating the wrong pattern size by making sure your pressures are set correctly. Nicks and dings happen. That's part of life. When you need to repair a small spot, you'll be glad you kept some of the paint uncatalyzed. There are several easy tricks to repair the pattern coat finishes, but it's easier if we have someone walk you through them. If you need to repair a section, large or small, please call us and one of our technical representatives will be glad to help out. Done correctly, the pattern coat finish systems from Scuffmaster, Ambient Design, Ambient Metallic, and Armor will give years of protection and amazing color options to interior surfaces. Hopefully this video has made the application of these finishes easier. These instructions are also on the Quick Tips card that's shipped with your order. You can also download these instructions along with finish data sheets and MSDS at our website, scuffmaster.com. If you'd like further training, please contact us. We have professionals who can meet with you and give you a more in-depth look at the Scuffmaster systems. Likewise, if you run into trouble, please give us a call. We are always here to help.